So I, as all young guitarists, went through a phase where I thought this was the coolest thing ever.
There were a few nice colors, just seeing the shape and not the colors. The colors aren't distracting me now.
You just see the ugliest guitars of all time.
Hi guys!
What's up guys? Today, I thought it'd be fun to challenge my wife, who is not a guitarist. Like, you play guitar.
A little bit.
You play a little bit of guitar, but she's not a full-time musician. Challenge her to try and rank a bunch of guitar companies based on, I guess, just what you've heard me and
or what I think they look like.
What? Yeah. I think
it's like, oh, pretty.
I think this will be mostly aesthetics based. My hope is that it'll be informative to other guitarists how little of the things we care about translates to the general public. Because I would say,
or how bad your wife is, because I actually listen to my husband.
I've already prepared some points where I full on expect her to know the selling point of an instrument, and if she does not, this is divorce territory. Okay, so are there any names that jump out to you and you want to start with?
I see a few here that I've never heard about in my entire life.
I'm sure you'll recognize.
Yeah, like Strandberg. What the hell is a Strandberg?
Okay, let's start with Strandberg. I'm gonna put it right here in the middle. Let's go to
F tier.
F tier. Sounds dumb.
Kidding.
Sounds foreign.
It's very weird. Wait, so this is that actually Strandberg's like
logo?
I've never actually seen their logo. They got a little dash. It seems like where's the note? I'm looking for the note.
The asterisk thing is technically their logo, I think. Their guitars are branded with the dot Strandberg. I'm under correction here. I think the asterisk says in there's still stuff to come out. We're looking into the future. I think that's maybe the idea. I'll try and find the clip.
Well, in all seriousness, what I do know about Strandberg is they're a very good company, especially when it comes to ergonomics, right?
You nailed it, yeah.
Word? Like, that they're actually made specifically so that long-term, it's good for your hands, and it's also, aesthetically, they're very beautiful guitars. Headless, which is something, I don't know why the headless is appealing other than it being cool.
Okay, so there are some reasons. Personally, this is like a dream guitar. I've mentioned this.
Yeah. I know this is like what we're getting you for your birthday.
Yeah, this is... One day if you guys start noticing I'm living out of a car, but I have nice guitars, it'll be these. The headless has a couple of features. Aesthetics, I think headless guitars are cool, some people don't vibe with them. But they are also much lighter, because you don't realize how much weight is in the headless, and because they can chop off the head, and they balance it out, they chop off a sizable piece of guitar at the bottom as well. So the average Strandberg weighs 2.5 kilograms or something like that?
Oh yeah, so it is all part of the ergonomics. Because it's lighter, it's also better for playing, and I mean long term it's going to help your hands and your arms and all that stuff.
I've played on a couple of headless guitars, non-Strandberg, and even without some of the other ergonomic features like the Endure neck and like really premium pickups.
That's a nice green.
Oh yeah.
Would that blue go down?
That one. That's the new one.
It's ocean themed. Of course it's ocean themed.
Yeah, it's the chameleon burst. Like that's the new one. It kind of changes color as it turns, which is nice.
Really?
It's quite nice.
Do they have like a little something of it on the website?
They should have a little video of it.
Oh, it's purple too.
Yeah, it's like purpley bluey.
That's stunning. So aesthetically pleasing, definitely.
Yeah, aesthetics are an important thing. I almost never talk about like, because I'm all about function and stuff, but like aesthetics are important.
In all seriousness.
Yeah, where does this rank?
From what I know, Strandberg is S tier.
Now, I need to be fair.
Sure S tier.
I've never played one, but it is a dream guitar of mine. So I'm gonna jump you straight into an acoustic manufacturer. I initially, when I set this up,
Martin and Co. Okay, so you're not allowed to tell me any of the good stuff. You're not allowed to tell. You just have to show me
we already
guitars.
have like a thing.
CF Martin and Co. Okay, so let's.
No, I think that's just the name. I don't think that's.
That's a C and an F, Martin and Co. See, there's a C and an F. I
see it.
And a Martin and a Co.
I see it, but I don't know that I...
Okay. Looks like your average, like, you know, oh, I want to be a guitarist guitar. Oh, this is your, like, basic ass. Okay.
They've got some cool... They've got ukuleles.
That is the most... I'm sorry to anyone who loves this guitar, but that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Love it's a call to action on climate change. So I get
like
it. I thought it was
message,
just
right? But these seem like fine guitars.
Renowned artist Robert Hutil. It's not something that they just slapped together on Photoshop. So it's well done. But I don't want to play. I don't want this on stage. I would buy this and put it in my house and have spent $2,300 on it. That is absurd. But we're not here reviewing different guitars.
If you go to something like the Voltsko Spheres that we had the other day, like if you went to something like that, you'd play a guitar like that. People would like love it.
People would love it.
But okay, this is,
I would say, this is to me what a Taylor looks like.
Let's go to the tier list. This seems like your baby's first guitar kind of website. Except I don't know how good they are. So just fully on what I've seen, I'm gonna go like C tier.
C tier.
It's
okay.
Fine.
That's awesome. Cool. You know what? I'm gonna reserve comments that I might have for the end of the video. I was just about to say,
at the end of the video, you just like go over everything and you say,
why you're.
I agree, I disagree with everything else.
Here's the thing, people.
You got Strandberg and Cole Clark right. The rest is wrong.
The thing about tier lists is something has to be at the bottom. F doesn't mean bad, in my opinion, but everything can't be S tier. You know Fenders, right? Fender is a brand you know.
I know Fenders. Yeah, Fender. Like without seeing any Fender, I'd say Fender's like A or B tier. Like they're good guitars. They're nothing special. Like they are special. Like, that's why I wouldn't go to C. I'd go to A or B. Like they're good guitars, but they have their really good guitars, and then they have the kind of average guitars. I don't know if I'd say there are bad Fenders. I don't think I've ever heard of like bad Fenders. So I think they're like A, B tier. I guess like my thing with Fender is just everyone and their grandfather has owned a Fender. Yeah,
it's like
I'm like, ugh.
Like that guitarist
at
the festival the other day as well. Like they had two.
Also, I'm not biased at all, but my ex was a Fender fan.
Oh, cringe.
So I'm not biased at all.
So F tier, immediate F tier. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna say.
Oh, they have these things. Let me quickly.
I'm gonna say A tier. It's a good guitar. They've got a nice range.
They've got these the Acoustasonics, which are basically an acoustic and an electric in one body. There are other companies that do these. Cole Clark is messing around with something like this at the moment, but I do kind of love how these sound. I think if there was a Fender I'd buy, I wouldn't buy a Tele or a Strat. I'd buy a Strandberg that does that, but they're the only company that's really making this thing as well as they are. So overall, I don't know if I put Squier on the tier list, but Squier is like the more affordable range.
Oh yeah.
Of Fender.
It's technically under Fender, and that's why I think I'd say Fender as a company. I'd say A tier, maybe slightly overpriced, but they're good guitars. They're pretty reliable as well. I mean, I know they've Fender. Like I said, everyone and their granddad has a Fender, but it's a good guitar. A tier.
I think that's uncontroversial. I think, especially in the modern guitar landscape, ESP.
I have never heard of ESP.
You've never heard of ESP?
Wait, maybe it's a short. Show me the ESP.
I don't know what ESP is short for.
Okay, then it's probably something else.
I didn't put LTD, but similarly, like to Fender and Squier, you've got ESP and LTD. I would argue slightly more metal and heavy music focused. Something that we'll probably not get into because you're probably not going to bring it up is most of these companies have like a custom shop version, which is like, the thing you like. How about 14 times more expensive?
But it looks exactly like you want it to look. Let's see, what's the pricing?
Oh damn, I don't know.
Go to that V, one of those V-shaped ones. Yeah, let's just go to the Hex 6.
Black satin.
What's the price?
I don't think they put the price on the website.
If they don't put the price on the website, you usually know that it's seriously overpriced. Look at that freaking camel one.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. Okay, can I quickly show you one?
I want to ask who plays an ESP, and then I'm like, that's gonna kind of give away to me whether they're any good.
Yeah, if they have artists. I've thought about making a video about this, but I feel like a lot of people already discussed this. But there's been a lot of people leaving their respective companies, and a lot of them went over to ESP. At least two of the ones I know of.
Okay, so I wanna say, based on that, I wanna say A tier. Based on looks alone, I mean they've got really nice guitars. Like I'm comfortable putting them in A tier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Which one?
Signed one.
That's cool.
That's a fast.
Oh, they have these really cool kind of acoustic guitars. I think they have a 7-string version of that as well.
Now, as a person who has only ever owned a blue Ibanez, I don't know if their guitars are any good. So I can't really judge them on ability, so I'm just gonna... Ooh, that's the pretty rock one you were looking at the other day. I'm gonna say A tier. This is a company I think you like. Just I don't recognize the name, but I recognize that guitar from something you showed me.
I've definitely shown you some.
That one too. You've shown me... Go down. That one. You've shown me that one.
Yeah.
A tier. I'm calling A tier.
Next, a classic.
Ibanez.
Ibanez.
It really depends on which Ibanez you're taking, but I think as a company I'd say A tier, because they've got a very nice range. They're really good guitars. Let's say B, because they're your kind of go-to safe guitar. You can get a really good Ibanez, or you can get a shitty Ibanez that just does the guitar thing that you as a 16-year-old wanted to do.
I think that's why I really like Ibanez. I haven't been doing it intentionally, but I've sort of accidentally started curating a bit of an Ibanez collection, because I bought a BTB bass, which was a bit of a dream bass for me, and I really liked the way that, and I kind of didn't realize, BTB is also owned by Ibanez, and when it came time to upgrade my main guitar, Angela, I was like, oh, there's a great sale going on in my local music store, awesome pickups, beautiful guitar, happened to be an Ibanez, when I wanted a 7-string, so now I have a bunch of Ibanez's in the house. You know what Ibanez is.
I know what Ibanez's look like. They have a V-shaped one too. That's cool.
This is technically
an
X shape. They also have the headless, their version of the headless guitars. I don't hate these. I don't hate the way they look. They're just like...
I quite like the color. That's pretty.
That's pretty. They also have this lovely spalted maple.
It looks a little like the wood that washes up on the beach. There's a name for it. I think
Driftwood?
Driftwood.
Yeah, quite nice. So, you're gonna stick with?
I'm gonna stick with B tier.
Gretsch. Are you familiar?
I don't think so. Doesn't ring a bell.
Do you want... you're getting...
S tier. S tier.
S tier.
S tier.
I love that exact reaction.
Gretsch, so Gretsch, is Gretsch a Fender company?
I don't think so.
You know what? There was a Fender, but there's a Marshall amp. It's probably just the amp.
Oh, yeah, I think
maybe they worked with it. But I'm gonna call S tier.
So, a lot of these companies are owned by other companies. I haven't really...
Yeah, that's a lot of big names.
Yeah. Like, I've intentionally not gone, oh, well, I can't put Charvel, because Charvel's technically owned by Fender. I'm ranking the physical guitar you can buy, and the brand on the headstock, and how my wife responds to it. You're feeling S tier.
S tier.
So, if I may, just show you some of the other guitars. Gretsch is one of those companies. All guitarists, they go through phases. Oh, I definitely want a V-shape. Now what V-shape? And then they choose a favorite brand where the V-shape exists. And that's that's their new church. But in the time that I wanted a hollow body, I really resonated with this kind of thing.
That white and gold is
this
stunning.
One.
That is beautiful.
I don't adore big speed bridges.
Just the combination of white and gold is stunning to me.
You can definitely see that price tag is not playing around.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with S tier based on that price tag.
Yeah, cool.
That's an S tier.
A lot of worship guitarists, like worship teams, they play Gretsch or Gretsch style guitars. I would compare them a lot with like some very vintage Gibson stuff. That's sort of what they do. All of these are hollow bodies, but even their solid body guitars, you can see very much in the vein of very old Gibson style guitars. You know that one guy...
Ooh, look at that lime green. That's nice.
You remember that one guy we spoke about the other day? He has a Gretsch.
I don't know about that one guy we spoke about the other day. We speak about a lot of guys.
I'm gonna cut this out, but...
that guy.
Yeah.
How do you afford that?
Yeah, like most... Like, I know 3 people with a Gretsch, and I'm a hypocrite. I own a Cole Clark, and I'm probably gonna buy a Strandberg before
the end of 2024.
Yeah, probably. They also have lap steels, which is pretty cool. I think if I had the money...
You talk about lap steels all the time. I have no idea what that is.
There are better options for lap steels, especially if it's not going to be your main instrument. And we'll get to that. So, you're sticking with S tier?
I'm sticking with S tier.
That'll be a good segue.
That's an S tier.
Harley Benton.
You talk about it all the time. That's an S tier.
Okay, so I've realized a little bit of a flaw, because if I talk about a company, you assume they're
No, I
good.
know you freak out about this company.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
It's not... No, obviously, because when we get to another company, which I won't spoil right now, they're not good.
So, Harley Benton, I do want to go to the website. They are, I think, in many ways, what Ibanez started out as. They mostly do... This is going to sound like I'm attacking them. I'm not. Copies of other things for a reasonable price.
Well, that's the case. You shouldn't have told me that, because now I want to go to A tier.
Okay, well, let's explore, because I think the pricing bumps them up to S tier. Because you've seen that kind of hollow body style we were just looking at Gretsch.
Yeah.
And the price tags that go with those. If you wanted something in that style, you could come here and pay a fraction of that. And by all accounts, really like good instruments. For example, a lot of the tribute electric guitars based on famous guitars, and one of which is the Brian May from Queen. and it has a lot of great features, and it, you know.
Ah!
But that's
a decent
and that's
price.
that's a full guitar. I've heard the way this sounds.
Good price.
It's, if you want that Brian May style guitar.
Show me one of the hollow body ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do I can find?
Look at that.
Wow.
That is, like, if you want the aesthetic, and you're willing to sacrifice a little bit of creature comforts, a little bit of premium, like wood types and pickups and stuff like that.
That's a great price.
That's a great price for a guitar. And I plan to buy the Harley Benton lap steel. Like, that's why I've been talking about them a lot. Some limitations.
S tier. So
yeah.
I'm sticking with my first assessment. S tier.
Cool.
I feel like I'm doing pretty well at this point. Where's Gibson? Let's do Gibson.
Let's do Gibson.
I'm gonna immediately go F tier.
Okay.
If this was 1990 or even like 2000, S tier. But after Gibson's recent controversies, just the attitude at Gibson, their guitars are great. Guitars are great, but the attitude makes them straight. Nah, in all seriousness, D tier.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, from a corporate side of things, that people don't vibe with Gibson.
Yeah.
And like I have said this,
it's a fine guitar.
it's fine. Just as a side note, from a marketing perspective, that the first thing you see is Happy Father's Day. Like, this is not a guitar for, like, young people.
If we're just ranking the guitars, I'd go A, B tier. It's just the company and the attitude of the company and the nature of the company that takes it down. And I think especially lately, Gibson used to be very innovative from what I've understood.
Yeah.
And then recently they're just kind of going after other people for using that innovation.
This is, like, what I love is earlier, like, some of those other companies, we could scroll through hours for different shapes and different colors and different things. This is what they sell. This is the range. I am exaggerating slightly.
I mean, at
There's
least
one or two
they have
shapes.
a nice hollow body.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ES series. This is kind of the original what a guitar looks like.
Yeah.
Electric guitars, and I want to give props where props is due. If not for Gibson, we probably wouldn't have the electric guitar as we have it today. We've spoken about this. Leo Fender invented the electric guitar. Like, he made this, like, thing. And he made the Telecaster, which is just like basically a plank of wood with some strings on it. And then Gibson went, well, we could probably do that. Actually, no, he went to a lesser known company at the time, Epiphone, which is a hard competitor. And they made, like, essentially, you know, one of the first, you know, what we know today as, like, the Gibson style single cut. And then Gibson at some point just basically bought them out and said, now you will make cheap copies. So, if I may, I don't want to defend them, but here's something that Gibson has really done well through Epiphone. Epiphone is where the innovation has lived for the last couple of years. When they make slightly more out there guitars, it's all still just Les Paul shapes though, but they do now, like with the Epiphone stuff, they do. Sorry. Epiphone does make these, like, signature guitars.
You know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful image, though.
Yeah, like artsy.
Very artsy, beautiful image.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to blur that.
I might have to blur that, yeah. This is where the innovation on the... there's another, like, some Viking stuff. This is where a lot of the innovation in the Gibson world has lived. And, frankly, I would buy an Epiphone before I buy a Gibson just because of the price point. Yeah, because you didn't even touch on the price point. These are insanely expensive.
So, I mean, this is the ranking of my thoughts on a company, right? Mm-hmm. F tier.
F tier. Want to introduce a little bit of flavor?
Kiesel. I'm gonna say Kiesel is, like, at least a B tier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's S tier or even A tier, because, I mean, Kiesel, as far as I understand it, the point is to kind of make a guitar that you want.
It's very custom.
It is Kiesel custom guitars.
I put them in here because I quite like them. But again, I've never played on one. But I do spend half my day on the Kiesel, like, custom virtual builder.
B tier.
B tier. Let me quickly run through some of the ones that you can pretty much buy straight up. Some of their designs. I feel like if you have the money to buy a Kiesel guitar, build your own probably. But, so you've got some compelling... They also do headless guitars. They've got some compelling deals. Now again, this is not no money. This is pretty expensive. But I would say at the, like, 1.5, this is what a nice premium guitar costs. You can also get a Strat style guitar. You can get a Strat style headless guitar, which I've not really seen anybody else do. They've got some slightly weirder shapes like that one. Again, if I wanted to buy a single cut guitar, a Les Pauly type thing. I'd rather go here. I don't like this headless thing, but
Pretty color.
I love the finish, how they do this. It's kind of cool. It has one layer of finish, and then this different kind of black paint over it, so when it dries, it breaks open. Yeah.
You can do that for your nails.
That's exactly the thing. Yeah, and every guitar is a little unique.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say B tier.
Gonna say B tier. I like it.
Charvel. Okay, you've talked about Charvel.
I don't talk about them as much.
Not that much. I'm gonna have to see some Charvel guitars. I love their logo. That is incredibly creative.
So S tier, automatically.
S tier, automatically, because good logo.
What do you vibe in this area?
Look, it's a glitter one.
Yeah, they have quite a few of those kinds of situations.
Nice. That's an interesting. Okay, so
a lot of Strat style, very Fendery, and there's a reason for that. Fender does own this company. But to me, Charvel has always been the 80s hair metal super Strat thing.
Yeah.
In Rock of Ages, half the guitarists are playing Charvels. I remember I saw an ad.
You should probably not have said that to me, because that does influence my decision.
I'm just saying that a lot of people in the 80s played them.
No, what influences my decision is that it was on Rock of Ages, although that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
That A tier.
A tier. Now this list is leaning pretty heavy to positivity, so I'm gonna bring something in that I'm sure you'll hate.
Okay,
You don't know.
Rich, I don't know, you're gonna have to show me. What, I love this. I hate the shapes.
Oh yeah.
But I love the colors.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, C tier.
So I, as all young guitarists, went through a phase where I thought this was the coolest thing ever.
There were a few nice colors, but now that there's the offset, you're just seeing the shape and not the colors. The colors aren't distracting me now. So now it's
You just
like,
see the ugliest guitars of all time.
I'm sorry to anyone who likes this guitar. You're allowed to like this guitar. It's just look at that monstrosity.
This one, yeah.
I mean, that seems like it could be pretty cool to play.
Okay. Story time. There was a Disney Channel series called I'm in the Band. Have you seen this?
Yes. Didn't that have Jack Black in it?
No.
It wasn't Jack Black. It was that other guy.
It was another actor
blonde.
But he basically does the Jack Black thing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And what it comes down to is the protagonist, the young protagonist, who's like a teenage boy, but that then gets hired to play guitar for his favorite band. But then they live with him. It's probably not a good show. It's probably not a good show. But I obviously, as a young guitarist,
I knew I'd watched it.
Yeah, as a young guitarist who aspired to be in a big band and also had these dreams of, like, it's great wish fulfillment writing, but the show's probably a bit dumb. But every episode also had a song sometimes. Like, not every episode, there was also original songs by the band. And I should do a video about this. The lead guitarist, like, he plays one of these, and I thought it was the coolest thing. This is the Stranger Things, like, collab in the most recent season of Stranger Things.
Ew, I hate it.
Yeah, in the most recent series of Stranger Things, season 4, they did this.
I do love the coloring. I hate the guitar. So
it's ugly. Wait.
It's disgusting. To anyone who likes this guitar, you're allowed to. Like, this is our subjective opinion. I don't like the angles. I don't like the sharp edges. It's not my kind of thing.
Like,
part of guitar is that it looks like a bombastic woman. Like, think about it. A broad-hipped woman. E tier.
E tier. It's nice of you to not slap it straight in F tier, because that's why I want to put it. Oh, by the way, this is not one of those. I have played on these extensively. They
have some nice guitars.
I played on I went through a phase where if I saw a BC Rich, if I had the money, I probably would have bought one. And every chance I got, and every time I met someone with a BC Rich, I'm like, oh, can I play it a little? And I think I would lie to myself, oh, it's a little harder to play. It's not really comfortable, but that's just the price you pay for cool.
That's the other thing you need to consider, is the comfort in playing. And I think as you get older, it becomes more important to you. Comfort is more important.
It's more important
than looking cool.
For me as a session guitarist, I need to be able to play for sometimes like 4 hours. Anybody, if you've watched my live streams, check out my live streams. Those are up to 5 hours of me playing guitar and holding a guitar. It needs to be comfortable. So I will say, the rule of cool bumps it up to E. Rule of cool is a thing. Jackson,
I think, is pretty good guitar from what I remember. Show me some
Let's look at some Jackson.
Wickies.
Let's look at some Jackson. Where is it?
Some Jackson.
Jackson. I am for real.
Interesting how many guitar sites have this as a banner. The guitar with the movement blur.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like this like aesthetic is what's going on at the moment. They are, in my like to me at least, they are
Do
known
they
for
mostly do the V's?
the like offset V's. Like some of the, but like my favorite artists when I was younger.
That's cool looking.
I really wanted one of this, like, cause normal like Gibson V's don't really appeal to me.
These are not as bad to me as the BC Riches, but I
Yeah.
don't like them.
Yeah, and again,
It's the
they're
same
not
issue.
they're not
It's the
mega
sharp
practical.
edges and the practicality. And you know, you and I often rate things on practicality. What are their bases?
Oh, they've got pretty basses. They're good basses though.
I'm gonna say C tier, just based on their
C-tier,
bases.
yeah. It reminds me a lot of like with the more premium BTB basses and stuff like that. So Jackson, you say?
C tier.
Like again, they're very much the 80s. Like I picture like a guy in the 80s playing shreddy, sweep licks and stuff. This is the kind of guitar I picture him playing. And metalcore bands in 2003, Schecter guitars.
Don't think I've heard of this company.
I only knew one guy that had a Schecter, and it was cool. It was a cool guitar, but it was the first time I had played on a guitar that was super active pickups, fixed bridge, like the opposite of what I like. And at that point, I had already started getting to like passive single coils and John Mayer and stuff like that. So I didn't have a great experience the first time I played on a Schecter, but I don't think that's fair. So yeah, here are some of the Schecter guitars. So immediately, even on this banner, no, don't do that. They're doing a Strat style thing, but with weird, different. Like these are lovely. Personal opinion: their website scrolls too quickly through the banner. Yeah, no, that's upsetting.
I hate banners that automatically move. Just
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it. Trying to look at things. Recently started working with Rob Scallon, which is he's a big YouTuber. Not to get into the drama, but he's recently left Chapman Guitars. Had a signature with Chapman Guitars for many years. But yeah, they to me are like a combination of like ESP.
You shouldn't spoil.
Okay.
Because I haven't rated them yet. That would
This one.
destroy my eyes. No,
This
bottom
one.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I personally hate the way this
But
guitar
I
looks.
do love the marbling.
this
the marbling.
one.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
one
the
has bats.
That's
Yeah.
quite cute. I
Because
quite
I
like
think
that.
this is maybe a signature guitar, but I do like slightly different approaches to fret inlays. We haven't really spoken about different.
Go. That one on the left.
This one.
Yeah.
And again, not
That's pretty.
not incredibly like overpriced.
Like Viking.
Yeah.
Viking, but also a little bit of deathcore and some flowers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
You know what I realized? This is part of Wild Audio. Wild Audio is a different guitar company, but I assume they're a subsidiary of Schecter. At least this is my assumption. I don't really follow.
So far, based on my opinion, like they're B tier. I'm gonna put in my opinion of them. They've got cool guitars.
And they've got-
nothing
and they've got classic,
super special.
classic style stuff. There's Nick Johnson's signature.
Yeah, they're not. Okay, they're B tier.
Okay.
B tier.
B tier.
For bacon and
I
eggies?
messed up. I didn't get the. I messed up. I got the wrong logo. I'll fix it in a sec. I'll cut this out. But I didn't forget one of the companies. Anyway, Taylor Guitars. So we've got some lovely guitars here. I personally really like this one.
If you're a country singer who just wants a guitar for... Oh, no, shit. I was gonna say, if you're a country singer who just wants a guitar to sing next to, like, the fire, then you buy one of these. And then I saw the price tag. Then I was like, this is not leaving my house.
Yeah, no, these are...
In fact, this
These are studio
is
guitars.
not leaving the store, because I'm not paying that much for it. Baby Taylor... Wait, we have to look
If you want to look at the Baby Taylors.
Let's first look at this, and then we can look at the
See,
Baby
oh,
Taylors.
got some lovely inlays in the...
Like, they've literally got a logo that makes it look like this is meant for next to the campfire. But then they, like, make you pay... Look at that! $10,000! Go up, up. Oh, there we go. The rosewood. Honduran rosewood.
Oh, yeah.
$10,000!
actually, that's 999.
$9,999. That's the one I
See,
get.
like, again,
It's lovely.
they do have guitars that are in a more reasonable price class. But I would say that's not what Taylor is. Like,
Yeah.
you don't go here for reasonable.
Really?
Because Ibanez, you could get something really premium as well. And Ibanez has some guitars that are clearly, I would say, based on
Taylor.
Taylor guitars. As I alluded to earlier, Ibanez largely for many years was the copy company. Yeah, they would like, oh, I want to buy a Les Paul, but I can't afford a Les Paul, so I'm gonna go with Ibanez and get something like that. Controversially, I think they literally started out making full-on fakes with with the right logo on and stuff. But that's no longer even nearly what they are.
The baby guitars, Baby Taylor.
Oh, I realize it's not really clear from the photo. They're this small. They are very small.
Wow. They're what my dad keeps calling my ukulele a small guitar. So that's your actual like small.
This is
guitar.
actually a small guitar. There, you can see a great image. Yeah.
I see. There's also a big baby. So is the big baby just
It's
a normal
slightly
size?
no. The big
it's
baby
a baby
is
guitar, but it's the normal size. And then they just sell you a normal guitar for an up price because it's technically a big baby guitar.
So the baby guitar is, I would say, great for travel if you're on tour or something like that.
Is that black?
But yeah, you can filter by wood. Like their website is one of the better ones I think we've seen. I would sort of love to have a Taylor 12-string one day.
I'm gonna say, just based on what I've heard so far and seen so far, S tier.
S tier?
Maybe A tier because they're really expensive.
Bit of a hypocrite because we got Gretsch and stuff in the A tier, but whatever.
Okay, you're right. S tier.
Well, let's rattle off the acoustic companies because I kind of have a lot.
Takamine, S tier. You talk about you freaked out over Takamine all the time. I'm gonna say Takamine.
I'm a proud owner of a Takamine, so like I.
You're right. Oh no, your Takamine is your granddad's. So A tier.
Wait, so the fact that I inherited it for some reason makes it less valuable?
No, I thought the Takamine was something you wanted to get someday. I didn't realize it was. I didn't realize you talk about it a lot because it's one you already have.
Takamine is like one of those companies that's like hard to 100% place. I always tell people, look at what you like online, whatever, but then go play one in the store. Cause,
B tier.
Yeah, because like I don't want to like it's one of those companies where like the older, if you can buy an older one.
Yeah.
Like I was lucky, I inherited a really good one, but its frets are worn down. Like it's been played. My granddad played.
Go one more. No, down. Oh, that's a stunning like inlay. That is a gorgeous inlay.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, B tier.
Yeah. Apparently, like, some of the more affordable stuff haven't been... Yeah. Like, the quality control hasn't been great.
Cole Clark and PRS are both S tier. I know enough about them to know that they're both S tier.
For the viewers.
For the viewers, of course, but I'm already telling you, PRS and Cole Clark are S tier. So let's show them PRS and Cole Clark, and then we just put them in S tier.
Cole Clark is maybe my personal favorite as far as acoustic guitar companies. Incredible instruments. I like I've said this, innovation is important to me, and guitar companies trying new things I get excited about, and this is their kind of answer to the Acoustasonic. They sound great acoustically, pickups and them, so they sound great through an amp.
I don't know how many companies do this, but I also know like Cole Clark, their wood is aged. Like
like
a lot of their wood.
wood's quite old.
It's like hundreds of years old.
They also do lap steels. It's very classic style lap steels. It's like a full body and stuff.
That's very nice. Lapdog, that's adorable.
Yeah. Their naming convention is also excellent.
Nouveau Lap.
I would rank these higher than S tier if I could. Because every Cole Clark I've ever played, I remember I played...
No, the problem is S tier is higher than S tier. This is the higher than tier.
Oh yeah, A is already... A is
the top
the
tier,
standard.
And this is like above the A
Some
tier.
might criticize this video for being too S tier heavy. PRS Guitars, Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, this is the John Mayer guitar. They're S tier.
So I do think they made an excellent choice working with John Mayer on the Silver Sky. You know, a lot of people are like, it's basically just a Strat. Other companies make Strats. Yeah, it's a Strat, but with a lot of the creature comforts of PRS. And I really like PRSs. I've never had the money to buy like a good PRS guitar.
I do think something you mentioned to me before is that the PRS has a very nice range of affordability. The same kind of thing as the Ibanez, where it has the like really expensive
custom shop stuff, yeah.
But it has really good guitars for an affordable price. Even John Mayer's Signature has now come out with like an affordable range.
What they refer to as the SE series. The SE guitars, they don't have the prices on the website here, but you can buy almost any of the styles.
God, that blue hollow body is gorgeous. You could probably figure out what my favorite color in a guitar is.
Yeah, the PRS SE Mark Holcomb 7-string. I mentioned that in my video about 7 strings, by the way. Mark Tremonti of Alter Bridge is a PRS artist. And then obviously the Silver Sky by John Mayer, which if you're into the Strat thing, but you get better fret access, like with the Carve, I would argue at a way better price. I've played in one of the SEs, like in a store. It's awesome.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I think they're great guitars for your buck. I can't remember the exact price of the Silver Sky SE, but for your buck, I think it's one of the better Strat style guitars. So even if you're like, oh yeah, but it's basically just a Strat. Yeah, I think it's a better value Strat than a lot of Squiers. There's another one of their signature guitars. This guitar has sort of taken my heart.
I'm surprised John Mayer isn't like.
Oh, here's him. Oh yeah, he was
like
on the front.
Higher up.
Yeah, Marc Lettier. But he also plays what a lot of people refer to as a Strat type, but it has a humbucker in the bridge.
One of the
closer to and it has the outlined birds.
One of the first things that drew me to the PRS was the birds on
the bird inlay,
bridge.
Yeah,
that's the neck. That's not the bridge. I'm sorry, I'm not a guitar. That was the point of the video. I'm not a guitar player.
So where are we putting this?
S tier.
Okay, so let's evaluate.
S tier.
We made it, guys. Let's evaluate based on. It's mostly aesthetics. Are we to conclude?
And a little bit what I've heard.
What you've heard. Are we to conclude that basically most guitars are fine? Yeah. Most guitars are really good.
And I mean, the only reason we put Gibson and F, it's not really because of their guitars, it's because of my opinion of them.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
And BC Rich, we just didn't like the shapes.
Yeah, I think they're ugly.
I don't think they're great guitars, just overall because of practicality.
Yeah, I have actually played BC Rich. There was a phase where every time I saw a BC Rich in a store, I would play it for as long as I possibly could to try and convince myself. Would you say you're happy with your placements overall?
I'm happy. I might move the Gretsch and the Harley Benton down to A tier.
Is it? Just because Harley Benton, whatever tier they are, I would probably push them up just because maybe quality-wise, innovation-wise. No, what I'm saying is maybe quality and innovation style they'll probably be, but just the affordability and the options.
True.
Like, again, the fact that I'm able to go, oh, I want a guitar, a Brian May style guitar, and a lap steel, and a mandolin. And I can get them from the same company. That's crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you had fun with this kind of video, tell us if we should do more. I have some ideas of having my wife rank things she knows nothing about, because she knows a little bit about guitars. As we mentioned, you play guitar.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun. I feel like what we've learned from this is I think we as guitarists overestimate and fight about oh yeah, but the tradition of the Gibson Les Paul or the tradition of the Fender Telecaster, that doesn't matter to, I would say, the general public. And at the end of the day, the general public is who is listening to our music and looking at us on stage and going, that guy's cool. If I start playing guitar, I'm gonna buy the one he has. I think that's what a lot of these older companies have lost sight of.
Yeah.
So they're just we need to keep marketing towards
dads.
Yeah, literally the fact that Gibson has that
Father's Day, Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, because you're either a dad or you're very rich and gonna buy a guitar for your dad. I don't know exactly what their goal is there. I would knock down, I would say, most of these companies to B just because of the price thing. I would knock almost everything down one. Martin Go is insanely popular and some of the best guitars that I've ever played.
Really?
I remember when you said that one, I was like, it looks like basic acoustics. Yeah, that's because everybody bases acoustics on Martin and Taylor. Basically,
so Martin Co. technically is what, A tier, S tier?
Probably. And then I probably would have put Schecter a little lower just because they're aesthetically fine, but they're just not made for me. I would say most of these companies, I'm not the target audience, but that's why I'm happy you ranked them.
What about Gibson? Where would you put Gibson?
Probably, honestly, D. Here's the thing.
They're a little under fine.
Yeah, no, you can fight me as much as you want. They're too heavy. They haven't innovated in multiple decades. Their guitars aren't versatile enough.
Actual
they're not,
criticism.
I don't like playing one, and I've picked up very expensive ones as well. It's not just that I've picked up cheap ones. I've picked up very expensive ones and gone, no, thank you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this kind of thing, please let us know. Please excuse our squeaky chairs. because usually I would shoot a video on my non-squeaky chair, but we want it to be comfortable. If there are any other things you would like my my non-musician wife to rank, please let us know. This will definitely be a kind of video I want to do more often.
Yeah.
I think we're nearly 3 hours in.
And goodbye.
Goodbye. We should buy new chairs.
We should buy new chairs.